This is your UCKG timetable, helping you to make a new beginning. Mondays, a meeting focused on achieving more in your financial life. Tuesdays, prayers for healing. Wednesdays, a meeting teaching you to develop in your spiritual life. Thursdays, a special prayer for the family. Friday, a service for your spiritual deliverance. Sundays, reconnect with God, the main meeting for your spiritual strength.
It's happening in every neighborhood.
Open the door! Who is he? Huh? This is why you really want to leave me.
No, I didn't.
Down every street. Sickness. Addiction and violence has been turning countless homes into crime scenes. Suffering, depressed, alone, suicidal.
May the Spirit of the Lord bless you all. A very good evening. It's a pleasure to be back with your program, Problems and Solution. Tonight I'm going to show you the story of Chris Boodram, that she suffered with depression. Even though that she came from a very good family, apparently with a good condition, but the depression that she faced, it make her life to be upside down. And I want to talk to you, especially you who are there on the other side, and your life is also upside down. You don't know anymore what to do. You don't know anymore how to solve your problem. Stay with us and see that is cure for depression. There is a way out for your problem. There is a solution for your situation. What you need to do is to give a chance to God to change your life. So watch this program, and if you want to, and if you are in need of help and you'd like to be in contact with us, below of your screen there is the number where you can join us, okay? And where you can talk to someone, and surely someone will be there right now, a pastor will be there right now available to help you according to your needs and to help you to overcome your problem. Watch careful the testimony of Chris. We'll be back with you straight after.
I actually came from a really good family. If you looked at my family, you would say that, oh, she's got no reason to get depressed. They were loving. I had everything that I needed at home. Financially we were stable. I never wanted for anything. My parents were amazing, but I started to develop from the age of 16. I started to think about my future, and then I realized that one day I was actually going to die. I'd never thought about death before. And then when I started to think about the whole concept of death, I started to have my first panic attack. It started in my stomach, and then I started shaking and then screaming. It was horrible. I felt like I was going to die. And from that point, that's when I started to get depressed. I was always anxious. So anywhere I would be, even if it was a nice day like this, I'd be in a lovely park. Inside, it was like this kind of nerves, like uncomfortable. And I would feel like something heavy on me. Like there was a heavy load on me all the time. I didn't feel like I could speak to anyone because I really felt I was the only one that felt this way. I felt like I would lose my friends, and even I thought if I explained to my family what was going on, I felt like I would make them start thinking the same way and they would start to have what I had. So it was like I felt like I had some kind of disease that I would pass on to my family. When I did eventually tell my parents, I started to make them suffer because they didn't know what to do with me. They didn't know how to help me. So one day I asked the counsellor, what do I do about this? And he said to me, I'm not here to tell you what to do, I'm just here to listen to you. And for me it was like, I don't need to talk about it anymore, I need help. What do I do to get rid of these feelings? How can my life change? And in the end, because I saw that it wasn't helping me, I ended up lying to the counsellor and to my parents and said, oh, everything's okay now, just so I could come off the list. Things got worse from there. The relationship with my father broke down completely because I started to become quite rebellious at home, and I would just start going out and disrespect him. I didn't even think to do any research or anything, because I'd been to the doctor hadn't helped me, and actually my dad had also first of all taken me to the Greek Orthodox Church to speak to the priest. So that was the priest, the counsellor, the doctor couldn't help, my parents couldn't help, my boyfriend couldn't help, the few friends that I did tell couldn't help. On the way back from work I would go past this building, and I would be on the bus and I would see lots of people inside, and it was packed. It was always packed. I remember the windows steamed up because there were so many people in there. And there was a sign that said, does it pay to pray? And then one night I had probably one of the worst panic attacks that I ever had. It was really, really bad. I was still shaking the whole day. Next day I went to work, I was shaking. I remember that walking in, I walked in, it's like, as soon as I pushed the door open, it's like the shaking stopped. I felt like I had walked somewhere familiar, though it was the very first time that I'd walked in to this place, but it felt safe, it felt familiar, it felt like home. For the first time, someone said to me, your life can change. I felt better immediately, when I left that first day. I never had a panic attack again after that very first service, never again. Today, my life is the complete opposite of what it used to be. I'm genuinely happy now. It's not fake, I'm not putting on a front. I never thought I could actually reach this point where I would feel this way, because when you've been through something like depression and other mental health issues, it really feels like you're stuck forever and like there is no future for you. But now I look forward to every day. Every area of my life has changed, including my marriage. Because now, we get on so well, we laugh so much, we're always joking around, messing around. We act like teenagers. We're in our 40s, but we act like teenagers today. So what I would advise someone that's going through depression or any other mental health issues, start attending the UCKG Help Centre, but go determined, believing that your life can actually change. And stick with it, persevere, because your life's not going to change completely overnight. You will see a difference immediately, I believe, but it's something that you have to persevere, you have to keep going with. Some people might think, oh, is there a cure? Well, yes, there is a cure. There is. And until the day I die, I will be speaking this message to people, because I don't want anyone to feel the way that I used to feel.
Olivia, I'm so sorry to call you at this time, but something terrible has happened. Bill got into a car accident and he died 5 minutes ago.
Good evening. Are you the mother of Mark?
Yes, sir, I am. Did something happen to him?
Mark was involved in a shooting and he got shot 3 times. He wasn't able to make it to the hospital and died at 10:45 p.m. last night.
We did everything we could, but her body wasn't responding to the medicine. We are sorry for your loss.
At one point in life, we all are going to experience the horrible feeling of losing a loved one. You can expect to grieve and feel sad after a loss, but prolonged feelings of sadness and hopelessness could mean that you have depression. Depression can make you want to be alone and forget about the rest of the people that are still alive. You feel that your life has no meaning anymore, and you don't know how to cope with this loss.
We are back with your program. You saw how the life of Chris was and how her life is today. And this proves, my dear friend, that there is healing. There is solution for depression. Now, I'm not here saying that you should not go to doctors and to hospital. Of course, we of the Universal Church, we advise people to seek the doctor. But you need to understand that there are problems that are spiritual. And the only one that can overcome and that can heal a spiritual problem is God. God is spirit and is the only one that can remove the spiritual problem that you are facing. Once the problem is out of your life, you have peace, you have joy, and you have happiness. Sometimes you say like this, I have everything and I don't understand why I'm carrying this sadness, this emptiness. And this is the reason that your problem is spiritual, and the only one is God. So give a step of faith. Do not wait anymore. Do not think that this is just for other people, that this is fake stories. You can only say that this doesn't work if you come and nothing happens. And I'm challenging you. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your religion, doesn't matter your situation. I'm challenging you to join us. You can join us any day, but especially on Fridays, where we have this spiritual cleansing service. And I doubt that when you place your feet inside of one of the universal churches, your life will not going to change. You know, we are here at the capital of Sweden, in Stockholm. Our headquarters is here close to the city center. Birger Jarlsgatan 106. Birger Jarlsgatan 106. This coming Friday will be here at 10 o'clock in the morning, 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Also, if you are watching me from Gothenburg, we have our prayer there this coming Friday. In the same spirit, in the same faith, we'll have a man of God there ready to help you. At 10 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, and then in Gothenburg, the last service is at 6 o'clock. What you need to do is to call us, please. Call us because, as you know, we are living under restrictions and we have a minimal capacity of 8 people per service. That's why the importance of you to call us beforehand, for you to set up the time that you can join us and come. If you don't want to come to the service, you just want to come to talk to a pastor, you can also call us and book an appointment, and we're going to have the pleasure to receive you, okay? Our telephone number is 08612-1255. If you'd like to know more about us, you can also visit our website, www.uckg.sc. I want to show you now the story of this lady that also she did her chain of prayer for her family back in Africa, and she saw also the miracle of God, the power of God in her life. Let's watch.
How are you, Miss Teresa?
I'm fine, Pastor.
So one day, Miss Teresa, you showed your faith to God, right? There was a situation happening. It was not with you. It was with who again?
My nephew.
So your nephew.
Yes.
What was the problem?
I got a call from Uganda that my nephew was in coma because
in Uganda?
because of malaria, and he couldn't speak.
My goodness.
And I knew that when somebody goes in coma with malaria, they can have permanent brain damage, or they will die. And during that period, he was having seizures every 5-10 minutes.
Really?
When I had the news, it was around evening time, around 7 o'clock. I was emotional. I started dropping a few tears, and then I said, don't cry. So I turned to, I said, God, what can I do now? What can I do now?
Was there a campaign going on in the church?
No
Was there
campaign.
a purpose?
No purpose, nothing.
Look at this. There was no campaign, no purpose happening, but she was confronted with a situation that demanded immediate action from her. So she took the initiative. Look how powerful.
So I had 2 options: to use the money I had to send to Uganda, because we don't have medical care, you have to pay everything, or put the money on the altar. And then the Spirit told me, go to the altar.
And so you did. You came to the altar, And did any pastor give you an envelope, or how was it?
I just came, I got some pastor to open for me the door because the church was already closed.
The church was closed, can you imagine?
I came inside, I said, can I have an envelope? I picked an envelope.
You were determined to see a change in your nephew. You didn't accept your nephew to have brain damage, to have complications, right?
Yes.
So you came and you placed that amount, that money on the altar.
I placed the man on the altar. I called the pastor to come and have a prayer of agreement with me.
Can you imagine? She called the pastor. Can you see how strong? This is what I want you to see, what I'm seeing here. It was not a pastor who went to her. Look at this. It was her faith in God. Of course, the Holy Spirit was the pastor there. But look at her initiative. And this is what makes the whole difference. God saw the initiative of the people in the past. Look how strong. God saw that they showed him their faith, and he honored them. And learn this, people, nothing honors God more than you putting your trust in him. You showing him your faith. Again, if you are a man, woman, young, old, if you are in the church for 30 years or 3 hours, it doesn't matter. The moment you show God your faith here, the moment you show the altar that you believe, the altar shows his power in your life. So what happened, Mr. Rees, after you called the pastor, you prayed together, you showed God your faith?
We prayed together. I put the envelope in my hand as if I was holding his head, my nephew's head. And as the pastor was praying, I was disturbed. I said, my father, I know my nephew cannot die, but I do not want him to get healed with any complication. He has to have very clear brain, no side effects of malaria. And after that, I went out strong.
And you had the assurance that the prayer was answered, huh?
Yes, I had the assurance. And even I was hearing news that, oh, he's still having fits, he's still in coma. I was just telling them, don't worry, my nephew is going to be fine. One time the doctors told us there's no medication, we have to get the medication from the city. And we got someone to get medication there, and the person had to chase the bus driver to take the medication to the bus. But I did not mind. I said, my nephew is going to be healed. And Bishop, he got total healed, no complications.
So how is he today, huh?
At this point, he was supposed to sit for the primary living examination to go to secondary school, and I determined, God, you are going to go all the way, and he's going to pass with flying colors. And he got first grade. He's in the best school in the region.
Clap your hands toward God. Is that your nephew?
Yes, that is Gabriel.
Look at that, Uganda.
Yes.
Imagine, you look at him like this, it seems like he had never had a problem before, right?
Yeah.
But look at me here. Great was your faith, you see.
My dear viewer, we are closing to the end of this program. It was a pleasure to be with you. May the Lord of the Bible bless you all. Until next time, if you'd like to know more about us, visit our website, www.uckg.sc. Have a good night. God bless you.
When we want to reach our goals, we research, act, and make sure we know everything there is to know about that topic. We study hard because that is the intelligent thing to do. This is the same for our development as a Christian. The Faith School is designed for those who want a degree in spiritual growth, those who want to separate time to study the Holy Bible and follow God's path for their life. There is no admissions fee, and it's suitable for every level of learner. You will learn how to interpret the Word of God for your daily life and become stronger internally. Do you want to find inner peace and spiritual strength? Then this course is for you. The Faith School, every Wednesday at your local UCKG Help Centre.
I'm not leaving this hospital until I know what's wrong with my daughter!
You want out? That's fine with me!